Hey guys, it's Isabella Illustrations here and welcome to a new video. So today's video is going to be a movie review. I don't typically do these, but I felt like it was necessary. Yeah, so I haven't done a video in a long while. School's been very hectic, haven't had many ideas for videos, so sorry about that. But with that out of the way, let's get to the video. So the movie that I'm going to be reviewing / talking about today is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. This movie really hit me hard and I just needed to talk about it, and YouTube is kind of a good emotional artistic outlet, so yeah, someone who has suffered through loss, and a pretty significant one at that, this movie really tugged at the heartstrings, also because of the loss of the lead actor Chadwick Boseman due to colon cancer. My aunt passed away from cancer as well. Not colon cancer, breast cancer, but still, it was really hard. So yeah, my relationship with Black Panther is, when it first came out, I was actually really excited for it. I really enjoyed it. I loved Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa in that. He was really good. And I just loved his character, and I just loved the movie. And having him pass away was really hard. And it was kind of sad. So in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, you definitely feel the missing presence of Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa. It's just pretty evident. You can feel him missing from the movie, from the get-go. And it is really hard, but at the same time, I really liked what they did with the story. I liked what they did with Shuri in this film. When I watched the first Black Panther, I didn't really care for Shuri as a character, and then this movie made me care for her a lot more. I can say easily she's one of my top 5 favorite MCU characters now. This movie did a great job of developing her character, and I just really connected with her on a personal level, because like her, I did lose someone very close to me, and that grieving process has been a long and painful one, and I'm still not completely over it. And I just connected with her. Like, that significantly big loss of a person you're so close to, who knows you inside out and who you grew up knowing and being close to, it's really hard to lose that person, especially when they're as significantly there in your life as a sibling. Like, you could tell in the first Black Panther, T'Challa and Shuri were super close. And this movie shows you, again, just how close they were, just by how hard this hits Shuri. And I loved her as a character because of that. I could connect with her on that level. Her character development throughout, which had to do with not just her growing and learning that vengeance is not the answer, and that vengeance and violence only brings more violence. But the grieving process that she goes through in the film is definitely very important. I sympathized or empathized with her, I'm not quite sure which one, a lot. And I did cry a couple times because of Letitia Wright's performance. It definitely hit me hard. And I felt that the death of T'Challa definitely made Shuri have to grow up quicker, and also with the threat of Namor and how that pushed her to get through her grieving process a little more at the same time, and to grow as a character, because she had no time to be wallowing in that sadness. She had to deal with a threat that could destroy Wakanda. So she had to put that aside for a little bit. But it also wasn't put aside. It was also dealt with in the conflict with Namor. It was like intertwined in a way that was really well done by the director, Ryan Coogler, and I really enjoyed it. Again, Shuri's probably one of the like characters who has grown the most significantly in one film that I've ever seen in the MCU. She goes from being this scientist, this child, and then by the end of the film, she becomes a woman and she becomes comfortable in her own skin, at least more than she was before. And I find that she steps up for her kingdom, which is something she wouldn't have done if T'Challa was still alive. So I felt that it was definitely a good opportunity to grow her character, but it was still sad to see Chadwick not present in the film. Last thing I want to say about Shuri, I actually liked her dynamic with Namor in the film. I know some people don't. Maybe it's just a shipper in me because I'm just like, the beginning of the film, I could totally see them together, maybe getting a political alliance kind of marriage thing going, maybe. But him killing her mother kind of destroyed that hope. So I don't know, maybe it's just me and my enemies to lovers tropes. Anyway, there's fan fiction for that. I don't have to hope it'll happen in the films, but maybe it will, maybe it won't. We'll have to see, won't we? They have a lot more in common than they don't. So, I enjoyed their dynamic in the film. I watched it mostly for those two, not just because I liked thinking about how they would, seeing how they interact, but also because it was just so compelling, because if it wasn't for him too, she wouldn't have gotten through her grieving process in the way she did and learned that vengeance isn't the way. So I felt that it was definitely important because Namor was definitely a very vengeful character in this film, and I think it helped her realize that she doesn't want to be like that, and I think it was perfect execution. This movie was really good. I loved all the returning characters. Nakia, I loved her and T'Challa's dynamic in the first one. They were so sweet, and seeing that Nakia had a son with T'Challa was really sweet. At the end of the film, it really brought some hope in me after watching such a sad film and being so depressed. By the end of it, I was just so happy for Shuri to finally have something of her brother that's left for her to live for and to bring her joy, and I just felt like that really lifted my spirits. It shows that there are people that are still around you who love you and that they will be there for you, and that there are reasons to continue living on because there are people who love you that are still here, and even the people who die are never truly gone. They're always with us, and it's really compelling and really strong. And the way Nakia talks about how T'Challa was important to her and how he was everything to her. To everyone else, he was just Black Panther or king, and to her, he was her everything, the love of her life, and it was just so sad. I love the depictions of all the different kinds of grieving processes in the film by each person who was touched by T'Challa in life. Everybody in the world, right, in the real world, there's no grieving process that's the same for everybody. It's all different, and this movie definitely depicted different ways of showing that. We have Okoye, who also deals in her own way with T'Challa's death by being more of a protector, I guess, in this film. She's definitely very protective of Shuri in this one. I enjoyed her character too. I don't really have much to say about her except that that she did have some character growth. She started as a character who didn't really care about technological advancement. She cared more about traditional stuff. But then she's starting to slowly grow into the scientific stuff, so I like that. M'Baku was great. I like that he's more present in the political aspect of Wakanda now, since, the Jabari tribe are more included now in the council meetings and stuff like that. I loved his character. I thought he was really fun. The way he was there for Shuri when she lost her mother. He's really grown as a character, too. I think that the way he's there for Shuri is definitely very comforting. It felt like at least she still has people who care about her and who want to make sure she's okay. And that's really important for me when I see someone lose so much. It's seeing that they have other people around them who are still there for them. It definitely makes me feel a bit better and less sad. Yeah. And Baku is also very funny in this film, so I loved him for that. But I mainly loved him as an emotional support for Shuri when she was going through her darkest time. And he's definitely trying to show her that you right now are angry and you can't let this affect the people. And she later on does realize this, and that's why she doesn't kill Namor at the end. She decides to show him mercy, and I think that was definitely important in her grieving process. That aside, I love Namor as a villain in this film. I think he was the perfect choice. I definitely think that him being the villain definitely helped Shuri along with her journey, and I definitely liked him as I think he's a very good ruler. He definitely has good intentions, but he just goes about it the wrong way. And I think that that's a very deep kind of character, because you can at least sympathize / empathize with him, which a good villain you'll be able to attach yourself to them in a certain way and see yourself in them a little bit. And I felt that the way he cared for his people was like, you could tell he cared and he was going to do anything necessary, but sometimes there's a limit to there's a you're going a bit too far there. But Namor's journey is not over yet with Wakanda. The end of the film clearly states that, and I can't wait to see him and Shuri go bonk heads again. Excited for that. This film overall, the characters were great. Everything. The story was really good. I felt like even Shuri's mom, Queen Ramonda, was amazing. Her own grieving process is definitely different than her daughter's, because she believes in the ancestral plane and she believes in the spiritual, and Shuri doesn't. She believes in science, and it's like a good kind of balance. But then you definitely see some of that rub off on Shuri by the end of the film. She definitely has some inkling that the spiritual is definitely somewhat real now, and that's very different from when she started the film, when she didn't believe in any of that stuff. So I think she definitely grew a lot, and I think her mother was definitely a big catalyst for her as well, because in the film she was already sad, but if Namor hadn't killed her mom, I don't think she would have gotten through the grieving process of grieving T'Challa. I don't think she would have gotten through it as quickly as she did. And I think it was important, even though it was sad to see Queen Ramonda die. It was really hard. Having two people die in the same film was really difficult. But overall, I enjoyed the plot. I enjoyed the characters. I loved everything about this film. I think it's my top MCU film right now, and I could easily go watch it again and again. And I love like the Thor movies, and even I'm starting to think I like this a bit better. I think I love Shuri now. I can't wait to see what else she's gonna be in. I'm excited, and I never thought I'd actually say that, but yeah. So those are all my thoughts. This movie was definitely emotionally hard for me, but I still love it, and I think that maybe it can help people heal from deaths that they've experienced that have had a pretty strong impact. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.